Sometimes lions, Grayson, they also are described as cats. But Peter here, he describes the devil as a lion, which is it's kind of interesting that Peter would describe the devil as a lion, because sometimes in the text we see the devil in many other ways to deceive people. Sometimes the devil, he comes in as a snake to lure people into moral corruption. Sometimes he may even disguise himself as an angel of light to deceive people in the spiritual realm. But here in the text, Peter, he describes the enemy, the devil, as a roaring lion attempting to terrorize God's people through persecution. One of the characteristics of a lion, Grace Center, is that a lion is a carnivore, meaning that they love to eat meat. They are meat eaters. In other words, they love to eat flesh. And just like Satan, the devil, he loves to poke at your flesh. The enemy loves to get into your mind. He loves to create confusion in your mind. And if he can create confusion in your mind, the goal is to get you to react according to your flesh. That part of you that is selfish. That part of you that is boastful. That part of you that is also deceitful. And if the enemy can get you to react according to your flesh, he believes that he has a grip on you. So he'll grip our minds and our thoughts and our behaviors to get us to take our focus off of God and to place our thoughts and our imaginations on the things of this world. He'll even grip your mind, watch this, to condemn you of your past failures and your shortcomings and your flaws and your mistakes. He loves to bring up your past failures. Because he believes that if he can have you focus on your past failures, you will never walk into your future promises. Oh, that was so nice when they say that twice. If he can get you to focus on your past failures, you will never walk into your future promises. So he'll tell you how bad you have messed up. He'll tell you that you will never be able to make it. He'll tell you that it's too late. But what he won't tell you is what's quoted in Romans 8, chapter 1. And that is, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in Christ Jesus, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. You see, he would not tell you that because he doesn't want you to know the secret. But today the cat is out of the bag. Now, what are some times that lions attack? What are some times lions attack? Well, one way they attack is when they're on the open plain. They're on the open plain, and the enemy also loves to attack at night. He loves to attack at night because he loves the dark and he does not want to be seen. He loves to attack you in the darkest moments in your life. He wants to attack you when you feel like you have nothing more to live for. He wants to attack you when you feel like everyone has turned their backs on you. But he not only attacks at night, Grace said, he does attack in the daytime. He attacks during the daytime. During the day, they love to attack, or lions, they love to attack when the grass is high. But when the grass is high, lions love to attack their prey. The same way he doesn't like to be seen at night when he attacks during the daytime, he tries to hide behind the high grass because he does not want to be seen. He does not want to be exposed. But today, the cat is out of the bag. The enemy is always hiding. He's always lurking. He's always trying to find his next prey. And you see, the devil is not just going to walk up on you and tell to you that he's the devil. No, he's not going to introduce to him his real self. No. But he'll slither up to you. Yeah. He'll slither up to you and suggest you do the opposite of what the Word says and what God says. He'll disguise himself as an angel of light because he does not want to show his true self, because if he did, you may not follow him. So the devil will not reveal to you his true identity because he knows that his schemes and his tricks are deplorable and they're evil. But today, the cat is out of the bag. Now, where does the lion like to attack? Where does the lion like to attack? Well, they prefer to hunt near rivers. They prefer to hunt near rivers. So when their prey is drinking from the river, they love to attack. The enemy loves to attack you from the blind side. He loves to attack from the blind side. He loves to make guest appearances when he's not written in the script. He loves to show up to parties when he's not invited. So since he's not written into the script and he's not invited to the party, he will barge into your lives and he'll take you by surprise. Have you ever been blindsided by something and you did not know it was coming? You was not even prepared for what took place? Well, it probably was the enemy. He saw you drinking from the river and he decided to blindside you and to attack you. And you said, well, where did that even come from? I mean, I'm trying to live right. I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm in church now. I'm reading the Word now. I'm praying to God more now. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, life issues begin to arise. And you're scratching your head saying, no, where did that come from? How did that even happen? It may be because, Grace said, you're now drinking and you're sipping from the river. It may just be now you're sipping from the living water. You do know that Jesus Christ is called the living water. And just like the psalmist said, as the deer panteth after the water, so my soul, it pants for you. I mean, you're trying to get a sip of water. You're just trying to get refreshed from the Lord. You're trying to get closer to God. You're trying to hear God. Your soul, it panted after the water. And that is, God is giving you and God is refreshing you and you're thirsty for him. And after you start to sip from the water, the enemy will attack you. And watch this, while the enemy is attacking you, you're on fire for the Lord. You're saying, Lord, I'm on fire for you. I'm going to serve you. I'm going to praise you. I'm going to worship you. And that's when the enemy is attacking. You say, I'm not clubbing no more. I'm not drinking no more. I'm not sleeping around anymore. I'm just trying to sip from the river. I'm just trying to get a little bit of Jesus in me. That's all I'm trying to do. He agreed to go to the cross, and I want to see what this Jesus is all about. I just want to sip from the river. Well, if you're sipping from the river, if you're sipping from Jesus, the enemy, he will attack you. And watch this, watch this. Why is that? Why would he attack you? Well, it's because you're sipping from the river. It's because you're sipping from the river. Watch this. Lions, they also love to attack when you're near the river and when the prey is focused on getting refreshed by the river. Yeah, when they're focused, when the prey's focus is on what they're drinking from, the enemy loves to attack. Lions love to attack when the prey is not focused on their surroundings, but they're focused on what they are drinking. See, that's why I tell new believers and new converts, and that is, once you confess Jesus, once you say, when you give your right hand to the Lord, get prepared for the attacks. Because the devil is coming, and the devil is jealous. I call the devil like a jealous boyfriend. You know, when women try to leave a guy and the guy gets so jealous that he just start coming after them. Well, that's like the devil. You're leaving his kingdom, going after God's kingdom. And when you go after God's kingdom, he gets jealous. He said, no, you cannot leave my kingdom. I want you back over here. But being that you're now leaving me and you're sipping from the river, the living water, I'm going to come after you. He's just jealous, and he's trying to cause chaos in your life. Why would he do that? Well, it's because you're sipping from the river. You're sipping from the living water. The living water, which is Jesus Christ. And when you start to sip and start to drink from the rivers of Jesus, the enemy hates it. So don't be surprised if it seems like your life is upside down. Don't be surprised if it seems like your life is just topsy-turvy every now and then. It's because the enemy is upset with you and he's throwing everything at you. Also, lions, Grace Center, lions they can only run about 36 miles per hour. Their prey is usually faster than they are. Since this is the case, watch this. Since that's the case, lions will sometimes get with other lions, which they call a pride. And they'll all operate together and cooperate to bring down the prey in which they are trying to take under. In other words, Satan loves to call for backup. He loves to call for backup, and he loves to try to take you out. So he'll call on other seducing spirits to take you out. He'll call on the lust spirit. He'll call on the heaviness spirit. He'll call on the suicide spirit. He'll call on the low self-esteem spirit. He'll call on the lion spirit. Because since you're faster, they think if they attack you from all angles, you won't get to your destination. But today, the secret is out. The cat is out of the bag. Satan loves to attack. He loves to attack. That's why Peter said, be alert. He said, be alert. Verse number 8, it says, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. He says, be sober, be vigilant. Sober meaning be calm and collected in spirit. Vigilant meaning give strict attention to or to be cautious. Verse 8 in the Living Bible translation says it like this. It says, be careful. Watch out for attacks from Satan, your great enemy. He prowls around like a hungry, roaring lion, looking for some victim to tear apart. It's interesting that Peter would describe the enemy, the devil, the adversary, as a lion. In those days, and in biblical days, if you called yourself a Christian, a believer in Jesus, they would be gathered, the world or the people who was not confessing Jesus, not believing in Jesus, they would gather together in a coliseum. And the Christian, the one who confesses Jesus, they would feed that person to the lions. Yeah. You do know even today in other countries, you cannot confess Jesus publicly. You have to hide in houses and in basements. You cannot let everyone know that you are a Christian. And not to be political, it's not in my notes here, but you do know that whole ISIS type of thing, when they cut off believers' heads and all of that. People cannot confess Jesus in other countries. See, you can come in church, you can raise your hand, you can scream as loud as you want, and you can praise Jesus on this side, but in other places, you cannot confess Jesus. So even in those days, when people confessed Jesus, they would throw them to the lions, and they would cheer, and they would chant, and so they would be so glad that another believer is taken down. So that's probably why Peter describes Satan just like that. You do know Satan wants to rip you all from limb to limb in the spiritual realm. He wants to tear your families apart. He wants you to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in your mind. He wants you to be strapped in a strap jacket. He hates for you to focus on Jesus. He wants to tear you apart, tear your finances apart, tear your families apart, tear your mind apart. He wants to rip you from limb to limb, just like Peter is describing. He's saying, be alert, be sober, be vigilant. Yeah. So those are some of the characteristics of a lion, but guess what, Grace Center? Satan is not a lion. He's not a lion. He only acts like one. He acts like a roaring lion. It's only 4 animals in the animal kingdom that actually roar. That's a lion, a tiger, a leopard, or a jaguar. 4 types of animals that roar. A lion, a tiger, a leopard, or a jaguar. When a lion roars, they are signaling that it's their territory, and they are trying to scare off others in that territory. When lions roar, they can be heard from up to 5 miles away. But as you can see, the enemy is always trying to intimidate us by fear tactics. Yeah. He's always trying to intimidate us, but guess what? He's not a lion. He only masquerades as a lion. He's not a lion. Peter says, watch this, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion. He's not a lion, he's an imposter. He's a fake. He's a phony. He's a counterfeit. He has a whole lot of bark but no bite. He acts as a roaring lion. Watch this. Peter goes on in verse number 9. And he says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. Grace Center, our job is to resist or withstand the attacks of the enemy. The attacks are coming. He's going to throw darts at you, but our jobs are to stand firm. Peter says here, he says, not only are you being attacked, but other Christians across the world are also being attacked by him. And it's good to know, Grace Center, that you're not in this all by yourself. Amen. That when you're going through your issues in life, you're not going through it by yourself. The enemy will attack anyone that confesses Jesus. And you do know that something I've learned over the years and in my short time of being here on this earth is that I've learned that God's greatest witnesses get attacked a lot. Yes. Yeah. I have learned just by living, Minister Berry, that God's greatest soldiers get attacked a lot. I mean, a lot, you know. If you never have any problems, if you're never faced with trials, if you've never had the carpet pulled from underneath you, you may want to check your oil. Because if you never get attacked, your oil may be low. You never have any issues.
Come on now.
Money always in the bank. Bills always paid. Kids acting like angels. Look, halos around their head. Yeah. Everybody on the job is just bringing you strawberry cakes every day and buying your meal. The boss is just always, oh, good job, good job, good job. If you never get attacked, you need to check your oil. Your oil is low. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, your anointing is low. If your oil is low, your engine is about to blow. You need to check your oil. Yeah. The devil will attack believers when their oil is full. Yeah. I'm not trying to prophesy doom and gloom. I'm just preaching the Bible. Look at all of the prophets. Look at all of the disciples. Look at the ones who followed Jesus. And look at the attacks that came. Amen. If you're not being attacked, take out your spiritual dipstick and check your oil. The devil attacks the anointed ones who has oil on them. Hey. Okay, I got to move on, Mr. Consuelo. But Peter, watch this. Peter didn't stop there. He gave some good news in verse number 10. Watch this. I'm almost done. Verse 10, it says, but the God of all grace, who hath called us into his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you. I love the title that's given to God here. It says the God of all grace. The God of all grace. When the enemy attacks you and you're at the lowest point in your life, that's when the God of all grace steps in. Grace here in the Greek is the Greek word kairos, and it means favor. But it also means pleasure. It means delight. It means goodwill or loving kindness. God does not like to see us suffer. But when we do suffer, that's when he steps in to show us his loving kindness. He's the God of all grace. He'll display his goodwill toward us. He's the God of all grace. It is his pleasure. It is his delight to love on us. When we're at the low points of our lives, he is the God of all grace. You see, the enemy is incapable of receiving or giving grace. He cannot receive grace because his destination is already sealed. He cannot receive grace. He cannot give grace because you cannot give what you don't have. But God, the God we serve, he's full of grace. He's full of grace. He's the God of all grace. Unless you have been living under a rock for the past 2 to 3 weeks, you know there has been a Twitter war between some restaurants. There have been some beef. No pun intended. Between some restaurants, Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. Popeyes have made a chicken sandwich that's supposed to be real delicious. Y'all don't have it in your back pocket, do you? Latin church. But Popeyes have developed a chicken sandwich that's supposed to be good. This Twitter war, I think Chick-fil-A man started it and so forth. Then Popeyes came back and said some things, and then Wendy had to stick her little nose in there. You know how Wendy's do, they love to stick their little nose in there. But it's this beef that's going on between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes. I tried to get one of them sandwiches, but I stood in line for a little bit, and I couldn't get one. I said, you know what, I'm going to have to get them things when they come back. Yeah, I got to get it later. I know I'm not supposed to be eating. I'm trying to, stay trim, But I love chicken. I eat chicken. But it's been this beef between Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, going on for the past 2-3 weeks and so forth. And as you would know it, Popeyes, they have run out of chicken sandwiches. They don't have any more chicken sandwiches for right now. The CEO said that they forecasted that they would have plenty, but they had no idea it would take off the way it took off, the way it did. So they ran out of chicken sandwiches, and they said they need to regroup, get themselves together, and they'll bring it back. So when they bring it back, I'll try some. I may or may not bring you one, I don't know. But they ran out of chicken sandwiches, and the demand was high. People wanted the chicken sandwiches, but they ran out. People were getting upset. People were huffing and puffing over this chicken sandwich. But Popeyes ran out. They don't have any more to give. If they could give it, they would. And you should even see some of these workers at Popeyes. Boy, they stress. They need to go to therapy. They are stressed right about now. But Popeyes, they ran out of chicken sandwiches. You see, Popeyes, they will run out of chicken sandwiches. They may run out of things on the menu, but I thank God that the God of all grace never runs out of grace. No matter how much the demand that you place on God for grace, His grace never runs out. You can stand in line for days and days and days and days, but you know what? He's back in the kitchen saying, you know what? You want grace? I got grace. I got grace. We got another order of grace. We got another order of grace. We got another. He got more grace. ain't turning weeks. He got grace for days, grace for months, grace for years. He got more grace than you even need. He will just overshadow you with His grace. He will pour out His grace. He's the God of all grace. Okay, let me calm down. I'm sorry. I got a little bit excited about the God of all grace, because I know there are some days I need His grace. Hey, I felt down like this. Some days I need His grace, and I don't want to go to God like, God, I need your grace. I'm sorry, I'm all out today. I can't. I need His grace every day. I need the grace of God. Peter says that He's the God of all grace. His loving kindness, His unlimited supply of grace. But Peter doesn't stop there. He doesn't stop there. The Living Bible translation, okay, or verse 10, the Living Bible translation. It says, after you have suffered a little while, our God, who is full of kindness through Christ, will give you His eternal glory. He personally will come and pick you up and set you firmly in place and make you stronger than ever. Grace Center, what you may be going through is only temporary.
Yes.
What you are experiencing is only temporary.
Amen.
We're only here for a short amount of time. Peter says that the God of all grace will one day give you His eternal glory.
Yes.
There are some days I'm like, Lord, you need to come back today. Some of this stuff, I'm like, Lord, I need you to come through today. Where are you at? Can you break the sky any moment now? But I know He's so patient, He's waiting on others to receive His Son, so I have to be patient too. But there are some days, and I can be honest, I'm like, Lord, I need for you to come through real quick, fast, in a hurry.
Amen.
Peter says, one day, we will receive His eternal glory. But then Peter, he then breaks out in a doxology in verse number 11. Verse number 11, he says, watch this, he says, to Him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. This is what you call a doxology. A doxology is a short hymn that's a praise to God. It's like a short hymn that's a praise to God. If you grew up in the old Baptist church, you are familiar with doxologies. It's like a short hymn of praise to God. So here Peter is talking about the tricks and the schemes of the enemy and how the enemy will attack us. Then he ends up saying God is the God of all grace, and one day we'll spend eternity with him. And then he bursts out with a doxology. It's like Peter was giving advice on how to be alert and how to be on the lookout for the devil's tricks. But when he started to think about God, he could not help but burst out into a praise. And Grayson, I don't know about you, but when I think about Jesus and what he's done for me, you know, and some churches, when they start saying that, they say, when I think about Jesus and what he's done for me, and I just dance. When I think about all God has done for me, when I think about how he has saved me and how he has protected me and how he has provided for me, I just dance. When I think about the goodness of Jesus, how he saved my soul, I could be on my way to hell for eternity, but somehow he displayed his loving kindness toward me and said, hey, I want you to be with me. He sent his son, Jesus Christ. You see, the enemy will attack. He will come after you. But when you think about the God of all grace, you cannot but help to give him some praise. When you think about how he saved your soul, you cannot help but to give him a shout of praise. He is the God of all grace. Peter was talking about the schemes and the tricks of the enemy, but he started to think about God. You know Peter, that lying Peter, that cussing Peter, when he denied Jesus. You see right here, he said, yep, I may have messed up in the past, and the devil may have tricked me in the past, but you know what? When I think about the goodness of the one I used to walk with and the one I talked with, and he saved my soul, I cannot but help to praise his name. Amen. Oh, the cat is out of the bag. The secrets of the enemy are revealed. He attacks your mind. He attacks you when you're at your lowest point. And he loves to attack you when you're all by yourself. But the more he attacks, the more grace we're given. More attacks, more grace. More grace, more the attacks. The greater the attacks, the greater the grace. Oh, that was so nice. He said one more time. The greater the attacks, the greater the grace. The more the attacks come, the more grace that God will give to us. The cat is out of the bag. Don't walk with your heads down low anymore after today. Watch this. I said before that if you're being attacked, that is not necessarily a bad thing. It means that your oil is on full. You are anointed to handle the attack. But if you're not getting attacked, you may want to check your walk with Jesus. But the greater the attacks, the greater the grace. His secrets are now revealed. His plans are uncovered. The more he comes at you, the closer God comes to you. Say that again. The more he comes at you, the closer God comes to you. The cat is out of the bag today. The secrets of the enemy are revealed today. You don't have to walk with your heads down wondering, is God pleased with you? Is God on my side? Why am I going through this? You're going through what you're going through because you're sipping from the river. You're sipping from the living water. And because you're on God's side and you're sipping from the living water, which is Jesus Christ, the enemy see you as prey. And he will attack you. But he's acting as a roaring lion. He's not actually a lion. We serve Jesus Christ, who is the lion and the lamb.
Yes.
He is Jesus Christ.